Hello, this is the testing video for my computer science major project. I'm just going to be going through and demonstrating each feature that I've implemented in my game in order. So when we first boot up the game, we are met with a main menu, which appears when you start the game and also when you die, and it doesn't do anything until you press enter to play. And you see the camera pans into the player, and here we are in the world. This map is procedurally generated, so it is completely infinite. You could go forever until eventually some sort of floating point inaccuracy would probably break the game, but it's probably infinite. I mean, I doubt anyone would walk that far, so we can call it infinite. These are the 6 items which I've added into the game, and also a weapon there as well. You have 2 items here which increase your walk speed, so use both of these and you'll be moving twice as fast. The chicken and the beer, they make you hit harder, so you do double the damage. And this medkit and this cheese replenish your health. The cheese replaces your health by 25%, and the medkit heals you fully. And we also have the lollipop along with the Glock, which are the 2 weapons which I've added to the game. Both of them are just simple projectiles. The Glock fires faster and does a bit less damage, and the lollipop fires slower. The bullets travel a bit slower, and it also does a lot more damage. So it's good using the lollipop when you have your damage booster on. As the terrain is procedurally generated, so are the trees. You can walk behind them to give more of a sense of depth, so that you see the trees fade, and you can hear that sound, the rustling sound, which is good for user feedback, helps you know that you're behind a tree. And also, mobs that spawn can also hide behind this tree, which you'll see later. In terms of UI, I just have an extra UI layer rendered on top of the main game, so you can see up there I've got coordinates of the cursor, so you see as I move the cursor around, the coordinates change. We have the current round, which will make more sense later. We have a health bar down here, and also the hotbar system. In terms of items, you can just pick up and drop items at will, so just press V to drop an item onto the floor, and you can switch between hotbar slots with Q and E. There is a slight delay in between dropping items and picking them up again, so that you can have time to walk away before it comes back into your inventory. You may have noticed the camera also zooms in and out. This allows you to see what you're doing more, observe the terrain, find items, or just provides a general more smooth experience, along with the camera smoothing as well. You can see when I stop moving, the camera fades or sort of glides towards the player instead of locking on directly. It makes the game feel a lot more smooth and a bit more natural. In terms of animations, you can see that the player is animated in all 4 directions and faces sideways when moving up and left or down and right or etc. Just I think it makes a lot more sense than facing backwards, so I purposefully implemented that to make it look a bit better. There are certain hotkeys in the game which aren't immediately apparent, so if you press Alt and K, it opens this menu here, which is just a little HTML file that I wrote, just has all the different hotkeys, so you can see WAS and D, left mouse button to attack, Q to switch hotbar slot, Alt K to open the menu, and Alt C for mob hitboxes. And there is room for plenty others that I could add in the future. So going back into the game now with mob spawning turned on, this gives me a good chance to show you what all the different items do. So for example, the stimulant here, when you use this, you run at 2 times speed. It's good for evading mobs and also getting away from big hordes. If we count how many hits it takes to kill this bear here, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to kill him, and he did drop. You do drop items, by the way. Every now and then when you kill mobs, you do drop items, although I did turn down up the spawn rate a lot. For example, the beer here, when you drink this, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's now damage is doubled, which is what the power-ups do. And then you also have, for example, the medkit here, which when you use it, you can see the health going up to 100 there. You can see the mobs are fully animated, they go in all 4 directions, which looks very natural and follows the theme with the player. It also uses the A-star algorithm to pathfind towards the player around obstacles. For example, this tree here, as you see, they all walked around that tree to get towards me, which is pretty cool. In terms of taking damage, when I walk into a bear and it deals damage, you can see the border goes red for a second, my health decreases, and blood particles fly everywhere, which is a nice little touch on top of taking damage. You can see if I get low enough on health, I'm going to need to find another bear to do this because they will all immediately kill me. You can see I'm on 1 HP, the screen got very red for a second there and it's slowly fading away as the health increases, so it adds a sense of urgency when the player is on low health. Also, you may have seen that little number there next to the chili. That's how many items you have in the stack. So if you already have an item in your inventory, it'd be silly to just have it again, so you can just carry stacks of different items. And as I use this, you can see it decrements by 1. And the abilities don't stack, but they do add time. So the effect of 1 chili lasts 10 seconds. So if you eat 2, it will just last 20 seconds instead. You may just be wondering why the mobs have been getting faster. That's due to the round system. So you can see the mobs have actually been spawning a lot more frequently and getting a lot faster. You can see though there is no drop in performance at all. We're still getting solid 180 FPS consistently with no drops. This shows that the A-star algorithm has been written very efficiently, as there is literally no performance drop of like 50 mobs all trying to do the same calculations at once. Now, one problem of the rounds increasing and the mobs getting more frequent is that eventually the horde will just become too big to kill, and that's a problem. That's where you use the speed power up. When you run away and the bears go off screen, eventually they will despawn. So if we go back over there now, you can see all those bears that were there before are not there anymore. This is an intended feature. It just means that if you do find a speed up boost, they will be rarer than they are in this testing video in the full game, you'll be able to escape the mobs, which is a good use of those, other than just being able to run fast. Another interesting feature you can see here is the system information and the memory usage and the frames per second, which all appear in the console if you choose for it to appear. So you can see it's all my specs are here, along with the current memory usage of the program and also the frames. This is good for debugging, but also if you are running the game on worse hardware, which I will be doing soon, then you can figure out what resources are being used the most, and it's good for me in terms of game optimization to decide on what to cut down on. There is also another couple of my desirable objectives which I could have met but decided not to. For example, the background music and ambient music. I did implement this at one point, but I decided it would be too much audio stuff going on at the same time. I preferred more of a zen experience with only noise when you want them. Debugging keybinds have been implemented, but only very limited if I actually quickly go into the game. And you can see when we come across the mob, if I press Alt-C, wait, that's not Alt, that was Alt-V, that dropped my item, Alt-C, you can see this red hitbox here, which is around the bear, which basically just shows where you have to shoot. You can see in order to hit it. You can see if I shoot over there, it flies away. If I shoot just inside, it hits the bear. And oh, we seem to have come across a lake. I did program this into the game's terrain generation. They are quite rare, but you can see here is like a lake that's nearly connected to the sea. It was just layered on top of the noise, so every now and then you will see a body of water inland. So as you can see, I'm about to go into the game on this cruddy old PC. I mean, it works, but the hardware isn't great. It's a good way to test how optimized my game is, though. That was one of my main objectives, is to get this game to run on almost any machine. And if it can run on this machine, it can run on any. And there you go. There it is. It's running at 60 frames per second. All good. Hopefully a mob should come onto the screen in a second. There it is, yeah. So that is, you know, everything's running nice and smooth on some old hardware. I think the aspect ratio might be slightly off. That's because the monitor is literally a square. I think, yeah, we're going to Task Manager here. You can see I'm literally using 8% of the CPU and 45% of the memory. And this machine is also running Windows 10 at the same time, which is not known for being lightweight. You can see that's a very old CPU, a 4th gen i3. And the integrated graphics as well, only on about 30% usage. So it is a 2D game, but that's not bad at all. Yeah, there's a very good chance that I will end up making a second video which just has a couple of things that I forgot to include in this one, so that will appear on the screen now if it does exist, and if it doesn't, bye.